As Wolfgang, Asmo, Nara, and Denier make their way into Kench Manor, another development has been arising in the north. After the city of Iceforge went essentially dark, no communication in or out, a platoon of soldiers sent in went missing as well. The Blackthorns have gone about in an attempt to secure some mercantile help. We join the story as it unfolds in a relatively familiar tavern just north of Steamy Springs. All right. So, a elfish male, pale of skin, black of hair, crimson eyes, with a very bird-like face, sits nervously at the bar, waiting for his contact, Commander Ichabod Blackthorne, to return. He knows that he's going to be meeting a few prospective mercenaries here to assist him in re-infiltrating Iceforge. The mood around the tavern, which is relatively empty, as anybody who's anybody is, probably sticking around Steamy Springs these days. It's not great mood-wise here. You feel a chill kind of crawl over the back of your neck, Samar.
Samar turns and looks over his shoulder.
You think for a moment you saw the wisp of a figure in your periphery.
He's gonna wait, but he's gonna keep an eye on everything around him. He's feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit jittery. His fingers are drumming across the bar slowly while he thinks.
An unseen force floats around the bar. Marge, you're surveying the space. Seems relatively unlively in here. The first thing that caught your eye was the shifty-looking elfish man at the bar. Around the area, there's a old one-eyed human who's tending the bar. Hair, kind of like in that bowl shape, little, like that horseshoe balding pattern. Lots of streaks of gray throughout the sides. Big bushy mustache. Few halflings wandering around, looking for a good place to sit down to play some cards, it looks like.
She's just sort of looking around with some intent, but just sort of like doing spins in the air and taking it all in without very, very aloof.
The door swings wide. In steps a odd-looking man. Definitely unfitting of the area. Bright red hair, somewhat long on the top, very tight on the sides. Wears a bandana-like shawl over the front of his face. Has a red duster cloak with some gold accents. But stranger than that still, at his side walks a mechanical fox.
Oh, finally a place I can come in to rest my feet.
Salem, you've reached the area that you were told to meet your contact. You look down at your wrist and you can see the tendrils of the black spot starting to like kind of creep up your arm.
Sort of fleck at him angrily.
They kind of like waver amoeba-like, but the tendrils stay kind of where they are, kind of about 3 inches up your wrist, leading up your arm right now.
Better watch yourself. I know, I'm doing it. Don't even know if you can hear me. He'll just look around and see if his contact is there.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Plus wits. My stats. Yeah. Oh wait, that's not my stat page. Roll plus wits, which is, hang on, 2d6 plus 1. That's gonna be a 7.
You don't see any. You don't see any of the. You don't see any of the bloodsuckers around here. The one person that does kind of catch your eye is a rather timid-looking elvish man sitting at the bar who his eyes darted kind of straight towards you as you came in. He looks almost vampiric in nature, but just due to his incredibly pale skin and crimson eyes, it's slightly off-putting.
Damn leech, he says under his breath. And he'll saunter over and grab himself a seat.
Near the person that you saw?
Yep.
All right, Samar, this gentleman walks over and just pops a squat at the bar next to you.
I'll take an ale, bartender. You like your blood chilled or warm?
Neither, friend. He gives a smile, and there's no fangs in his mouth.
Well, then we're gonna get along better than I thought. He'll extend a hand to the other man.
Samar will extend it as well. Samar Noka, good to meet you.
Salem Bask, and the pleasure is all mine.
What brings you into a frozen place like this?
Well, and he'll slam the contract down on the table, and it has the black seal.
The seal, actually, you remember as you opened up the envelope, the missive that you were sent. As you held it, you felt a chill run down your arm as some of the ink from the page swirled its way onto the flesh of your palm.
Oh, I'll remove my glove and I'll lay it on the table then. It seemed that the Archmage wants something from good old Salem.
You can see on his palm is this black dot sitting at the center of his palm, kind of undulating, almost amoeba-like, and these 3-4 intertwining tendrils of inky blackness beneath his skin, almost tattoo-like, have been undulating and moving down his wrist.
My, aren't you the important fella?
I don't think I'm so much important as I am annoying. And he'll put his glove back on. They probably just want to get rid of me or make me useful before they see fit to dispose of me. At least that's what I'm thinking. And I don't like to toot my own horn, but I am a fairly intelligent man. And I know how these people work, if you can even call them people.
The bartender sets down your ale in front of you. He kind of looks down over the counter at the mechanical fox who's just sitting very politely at your side. We don't allow dogs in here.
Well, lucky for you, that ain't a dog. That's a fox.
Whether it be lupine or canine, that's not really my concern. Still an animal, an animal.
Looks down at Gracie. Looks back up at the bartender. You do know that's not real, right?
Gracie just kind of cocks its head and kind of like shimmers, it like swishes its tail left and right. You hear a little shink, 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 shink.
You do know it's not an animal either, right?
Well, just 'cause I ain't never seen none like it doesn't mean it ain't none.
You are really trying to split my hairs over this, aren't you? Gracie! And I'll have it hop onto my shoulder.
Gracie leaps up very gracefully, as its name would imply, just kind of claws up and over, wraps itself around your shoulder and just stares at the man.
Lie still, would you?
Gracie lays down, kind of like making itself a shawl on your shoulders.
See, my Gracie here might look like a fox, but she can be anything I want her to be.
Well, as long as it doesn't leave no mess.
My Gracie is the cleanest thing in this bar.
Go ahead and roll plus charm.
Oh, it's gonna be plus 0, so
Oh.
5.
If it makes a mess, you're out on your ass.
I'll keep that in mind.
What
Now,
about you? He looks.
my ale.
Yeah, he slides the ale over to you, kind of like a little bit of a. Looks back over to you, Samar. Now you've been here for a few hours. Are you gonna order anything, or are you gonna go?
Yeah, I'll order something. How special, if you don't mind?
Just kind of like glares at you a little bit. Go ahead and roll plus charm.
Okie doke. That is +1.
Oh no!
Snake eyes.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
How special for you, pointy-eared freak. Just kind of spits at you.
Marge hops in with no need to be rude.
How do you pop in?
She just says it.
A voice from the ether calls out from nowhere. The bartender looks left, right, unable to determine where it came from.
Keep
Who
that to
said that?
yourself. Be nice, or I'll cause a stir.
What trickery's this?
No trickery. Just, you best be nice to your customers, you know?
Herr Bartender, I do believe that your establishment is haunted.
Haunted. Pish posh.
I had a necromancer through here just the other week. If he left some shit behind, I swear to
Oh,
God!
calm yourself. I'll be here now and whenever I feel. Got some business to take care of, that's all.
I'll lean over my shoulder and whisper to Gracie, why don't you see if you can find that voice for us?
Go ahead and give Gracie a roll plus wits.
Oh boy.
Marge, that would be a roll plus strange. now that you are actively being sought out.
Okay. Gracie stats use my wits or my smart.
That'd be a 10 for me.
All right.
All right. Roll plus smarts. That's 6, so nothing doing.
Well,
Grace is just kind of like shimmering around, like ears twitching. Shink, shink, shink. This whatever is making this sound is definitely not apparent to the naked eye.
well, that was a nice try, but no.
Real clever trick you got going on, madam.
I
Are
don't know if I'd
you
call it a trick.
invisible, hiding somewhere? Maybe
She's
provoking
gonna
some thaumaturgy?
stick her face onto the table surface and make it opaque.
All right. So on the surface of the bar, kind of Jacob Marley in A Christmas Carol style, the face of a like kind of the bluish spectral glow of a wild-haired halfling face appears.
Hello. How you do?
Well, I could be better. You go around to all these establishments pulling shenaniganery like this?
I suppose that kind of depends on how you view shenaniganery, or whatever that word was. The name is Marge Clearwater.
Salem Basque.
Nice to meet you.
The bartender, visibly perturbed by the ghostly face of a woman sticking out of his bar top. Whose ghost is this?
It is
Come on, what do you
mine.
want?
Good lord. I told you to calm yourself or I'd make more problems. I'm trying to be discreet. Do you want to make an issue?
The undead are not welcome in my establishment.
Well, that's going to be a problem because I have to be here.
So you are a ghost, but you're not haunting the place.
Oh no, I would never haunt a place like this.
Hey!
Oh, we want to exchange words now.
I see, I'm getting my fucking holy water. He goes back behind the bar.
Didn't expect a dive like this to have holy water on tap.
I doubt he does. He probably just put some salt in it and thinks it's special. Anyhow, what are you two gents here for?
Well, I am waiting for my boss to arrive, and he finger quotes into the air, rolls his eyes.
You must
He's he's very expressive with his eyes, by the way, because his mouth is invisible.
You must be very fond of him.
He takes a bit. He sort of lifts up the bottom of the shawl around his face, and then, without revealing his mouth, just takes a big swig of ale and.
Oh,
A step under lovers.
that sounds so nice. I wish I could have ale.
The bartender returns with a what looks to be kind of like a decanter of kind of shimmering water. Kind of starts dumping, like pouring it into a rag. All right, get back here, ghost. He starts like.
Gracious,
starts-
all right. So she's gonna just like. She's gonna go back into being invisible and just move off of the table.
All right, that's a roll plus strange to change your opacity to be completely invisible.
That'd be a 9.
All right, you manage to disappear from the bar as he like slams his rag down. Oh shit, he's still here somewhere. God damn it.
No shit, Sherlock.
he takes his bottle of water. All right, I see. I'm gonna show you. He starts to look like he's about to kind of like fling it all around the air. Before he does, his hand is caught from behind him, and emanating from the shadows, a gaunt, clawed hand reaches out. You see two glowing red eyes appear behind him as the rest of the form seeps out of the shadows. They are with me. Forgiveness, Lord Blackthorne. I didn't know. Nor should you. Leave us. Leave? You leave! But it's my boss. Leave! All right. He just pisses off.
Simar will stand up and give a respectful bow.
Forgive my lateness.
This is the same guy as last time, right? Same guy who approached me in the air.
He's not the guy from Frosthelm. No, this is a.
Oh, okay.
You can definitely tell he's a vampire though from his gaunt face, his relatively luminous eyes in the shadows, his ageless, handsome demeanor. Seems to be dressed in military regalia. The deep blues and dark metals of the Mitternacht military. Commander Ichabod Blackthorne, at your service. Or should you say, you are at mine.
Ichabod. Well, seeing as how you have control of the bar, why don't you take a load off? Maybe tell us what we can do for you.
There should be another. He looks around and his eyes connect with yours, Marge. There you are.
Well, that's new.
Come. Join these gentlemen. We shall talk. Privately. As a ethereal bubble kind of expands around you, the sounds around the bar become a bit muted as things around you kind of begin to slow down. The peering eyes that were looking at the like whatever was going on over here kind of blink and look as if like, what the hell happened? They should not be able to pierce through.
That's a fun trick.
Yes. Some time ago, the city of Iceforge went dark. I have not heard from my brother or anybody from the city. In the days that have passed, we have sent in a platoon to check and investigate, but they also have not returned. So we seek the assistance of those who cannot die. Points towards you, Marge. Those
Makes
who
sense.
have been of extenuating service previously. Gestures towards you, Salem. And those who would wish to join of their own volition.
Simar nods.
Yeah, gestures towards you.
I see. So you're a larvae in training.
As
You
it
call it
stands, my brother, the Duke of Iceforge, I have not been able to contact him. As it stands, I am the next Duke. It would remain up to me to oversee the city's fortunes. Therefore, though I am currently stationed in Steamy Springs, with this situation at hand, I shall accompany you.
Well, I don't see any problems with that. Do you?
I do not.
And what about you?
Oh, got nothing better to do, I suppose.
Fantastic.
I warn you, what we could be heading into, if reports are to be believed. It could involve powerful artifacts, things that I have come in contact with in the past. A type of magical stone capable of great destructive power.
Have we heard of anything like this before?
Salem, you traveled with Denier once. I'm assuming there would have been some small talk in your travels, so go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts.
Okay. Plus smarts is going to be 8.
You recall the last time you ran into a Blackthorne that the cat companion you were traveling with, Denier, he had some experiences with stones of that description. As for you, Marge, go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts as well.
Okay.
You have some information, but this will determine how much more.
It'll be a 7.
After you were murdered, your investigation toward your murderer informed you that there appeared to be a number of people who worshipped these very these highly powered magical fragments of gems. You came to believe that your own murderer was a part of this cult, and that they had gone around murdering more. You even believed that the massacre of Bordeaux, decades in the past, might have something to do with it as well.
Well, that's quite interesting. So, I'm interested to see how that might play out.
Good.
And I don't have much of a choice.
I do regret the means by which you were summoned, but
Sure.
I was led to believe that you would not necessarily come willingly. I assure you, you will be properly compensated and the curse thoroughly removed.
Oh, I'd certainly hope so. I'd hate for this to be the end of our working relationship, Monsieur Blackthorne. One way or the other.
As would I, when we have seen this through to its end. If I am able, I shall provide whatever it is you request of me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Are you taking requests?
If there is something that you desire in your unearthly form, that I can provide.
That's true. Material possessions probably aren't going to be high on my list. I'll think on it. Keep a favor handy for me.
I certainly will. And what of you, young Simar?
Favor would be the most important thing. The reach of the Blackthorns is quite great. My research could be very quickly elevated if the right favor is earned.
Whatever I can do to expedite your research, I will make sure you have it at your disposal. Once Iceforge is back under our control. If that will be all, there's a carriage waiting outside.
Oh, and you want me to ride in it?
It's magical, so it should not be too much of an issue, I suppose.
This will be fun.
You can park your poltergeist posterior.
Oh, look at you with your poetry.
I am an intelligent man. I do like to practice with my wordplay every now and again.
Oh,
Seeing
this
as
is
how
good.
we appear to be working together.
May as well make it fun, right?
Absolutely. I like to get as much entertainment out of my jobs as I can, and I need a little levity for this current one.
I have a feeling this job is going to be quite the job to remember.
Very well then. We shall proceed. He snaps his fingers, and that slightly like that bubble that had formed around you pops. Everybody else who was in the bar instantly like looks back, noticing that you're there again. Whoa. Shall we? And he kind of like holds up his hands as the door to the outside opens. A spectral blue, another ghost, in fact, holding open the door, wearing a top hat, kind of floating 3 feet off the ground, knees bent. Right this way.
You haunted mansioned us.
Oh, shit. He's back! Yes!
Thank you, Beauregard.
Oh my god. And just as they're leaving, she's gonna go full opacity while floating in the center of the bar.
Immediately everybody gets startled by this. In fact, go ahead and give me a roll plus strange to see how startled.
Okay, perfect. Oh my god, it's a 9.
As you float out a little bit, boom, full opacity. One of the halflings who was about to take a sip of his drink just instantly just pours it all over his face. Ah!
And she yells, "This bar is haunted!"
Fucking ghost! God damn it! The bartender just like looks very grumpy behind you.
And she flips him 2 birds as she flies out.
As you float out, the ghost who's holding the door kind of takes his hat off for you. Ma'am?
Don't mind if I do.
As you approach the carriage, the door opens up magically. The inside is a very posh, velvety interior. Dark reds. Heated, which is nice for those of you with blood that moves.
Oh, this looks like it'd be quite comfy. If you could feel it, you know.
Oh, quite comfy. Samar climbs into the carriage and he takes a seat.
Marge is gonna like ping pong around in there, just kind of floating through all the corners, just too restless to sit.
Salem, you popping in as well?
Oh.
Connor has gone bye-bye.
He
oh
dropped.
no! Connor disconnected. I'm just going to assume that Salem and Gracie hop in as well. And I feel like while we're waiting Connor to get back, may as well take this time to take
he's here.
Oh, never mind. Cancel that. We're going still.
Yeah.
No.
At what point did you drop?
Right when we agreed to get going. Hello?
Yes.
Trying to remember exactly when that would have been. Do you know who your driver is?
No.
All right, Boo regards here. You don't know him.
Hey!
Salem doesn't know him, but you do. So everybody's just kind of piling into the carriage outside.
Okay. I'll finish his ale and step on in.
Gracie kind of still just kind of wrapped around your neck a bit as you sit down in the plush, warm, velvety interior. Blackthorne is the last one to enter. Just kind of sits across from you, next to an empty seat where Marge would fit if Marge had, wasn't incorporeal and decided to sit down.
Yeah, no. Still floating around.
Beauregard pops his head through the exterior driver's side of the carriage. Everyone all settled?
Settled as I'm gonna be.
Wonderful. Onward we go. And you can hear the trotting of the spectral skeletal horse as it begins to move forward through the thick ice and snow on its way to Iceforge. Click, clock, click, clock, click, clock. I wish I had more information to give you about our destination.
Wouldn't be the worst thing to know what we're doing.
I simply know that whatever has become of the city, my first priority is my brother.
And just for clarity's sake, what kind of priority is this? Is this a making sure safety type of thing, or is this more of a making sure not safety kind of thing? Like if you're vying for that Duke spot. Just curious.
To be quite honest, go ahead and give me a roll plus charm.
8.
To be frank, the seat of Duke has never really appealed to me. It always fit my brother like a glove. I would rather he be alive if... well, lack of better words anyway. He kind of, it gives a half smirk showing off like one of his incisor fangs. I would rather we find him well.
I'll take that at face value.
She says, eyeing his incisor.
It won't do me much good to look into that any further.
Why? Do you have some sort of thing going on?
I do, as a matter of fact, have a thing. I'm in this for decidedly selfish reasons.
The fun kind or
Particularly
the
of
sad
the-
kind?
He ponders for a moment. Hey, is this thing gonna just kill me or bring me back as a zombie?
The mark itself would just kill you. What happens to your body after the fact is up to necromancers.
Not fun, then.
Oh, that doesn't sound like fun at all.
And she says with her face all scrunched.
Be a horrible waste. A man of my particular talents to just die like that. Ain't that right, Gracie?
Gracie kind of like gives a little vibrating, like churring purr as it like stretches its neck out next to you and kind of nuzzles the side of your head.
And unfortunately, the only way they erase that mark in particular is by the grace of the Archmage himself or the unlikely event of his demise.
Well, today's just looking full of options, isn't it?
Well, then, let's hope. Not you.
Pulls it. Salem pulls out a loot. Bring.
Bring. Let's hope that we find the Archmage the usual kind of dead.
Indeed.
As you approach, as you make your way toward the city of Iceforge, you get to the point where you might be able to see it as the carriage noticeably slows down. Blackthorne kind of like pumps his fist on the side of the wall.
What's the holdup?
A face pops in.
I'm not really sure what to make of it, sir, to be quite honest. Perhaps you would be a better judge.
As the carriage kind of slows to a halt.
Salem leans his head out the window.
Marge just pops her face out of the carriage.
And Samara waits his turn.
You see in the distance black smoke rising from Iceforge. The tendrils of smoke tangling into the sky, forming what seems to be the shape of a tree with gnarled, bare branches.
There's smoke coming out of a place called Iceforge. Now, that doesn't sound quite right. Does it look like a tree to anyone else?
Looks like it to me.
Looked like a starfish to me. I've been around.
Leans in a little bit closer and squints.
Also
Kinda.
squints.
Kinda, maybe. No,
I'm getting tree vibes.
no, that's definitely a tree.
Definitely a tree.
2
That
to
ain't
1.
normal. That ain't normal, I'm guessing.
2 to 1, that's fine. Move. It means there's trouble. Double time, Beauregard.
As the carriage once again picks up its pace, you find yourself at the gates of the city of Iceforge.
This is as far as I go for now.
Sure you don't want to tag along?
She like gives a nudge and a wink.
Go ahead, roll plus charm.
Seven.
If a ghost could blush.
Well, I would if the permit of my contract allowed me to leave the carriage for more than a few moments at a time.
No. Well, we'll see what we can do about it later.
Greatly appreciated, ma'am.
Lani, what's the coloration of the buildings in Iceforge?
They're fairly dark slate gray stone, combined with the black brackish metals that you find around these lands.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty standard construction for the area.
Snow on the ground or no?
Yes. In fact, it looks as though the snow that has been coming down has not been swept from the streets in at least a couple days. Moreover, the go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
All of
Oh.
us?
Just Shadow for now.
Who?
10.
Just Simar for now. 10.
There we go.
The lumps in the sand that you are sorry. There are lumps in the snow, kind of piling outside of the buildings into the streets. You see some of the snow sinking in places. They are human bones, humanoid bones.
Yeah, there's corpses over there. A lot of them. On the streets.
Any ghosts hanging around?
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits to get a size of your supernatural surroundings.
Oh, it's 4.
Do not appear to be.
Well, this doesn't look quite like the best.
This was a slaughter.
Simar, another thing you notice, amongst the buildings there are marks where it looks like kind of like scorch marks from magic spells had been fired off, but a lot of blunt force trauma, like hammers being slammed into the side of these buildings, impact craters pockmarking the streets and walls. It looks like very heavy blows from something very powerful, or some things very powerful.
There was a battle here. Look at the forces on the buildings. Something strong came through here. The town tried to fight back. Didn't turn too well for the townsfolk, looks like.
That it didn't.
And as
Gracie.
Go ahead.
He's just gonna lean down to Gracie. Gracie, can you do me a favor and just go on a little patrol, see if you can find anything of particular note?
Go ahead and give it a roll plus. For you, it's a roll plus smarts. Is anything that Gracie would do?
Yep.
I said.
Plus smarts is gonna be 5. Wait, no, 12.
Yeah, that's a.
There we
12.
go.
I was looking
Uh,
at Caitlin's.
No.
You will find out in a bit as Gracie goes out on patrol. We'll stay somewhere in the circumference of 100, or somewhere in the radius of 100 feet from you. But Gracie's going to go and check and see what Gracie can find, and bring back anything of interest.
Marge is gonna shoot upwards to try and get a bird's eye view of everything.
You float upwards. The higher, to a point, at a certain point, the smoke starts to make everything a little bit harder to see, but you get a decent view of the skyline of the city leading backwards towards the main campus of the College of Iceforge itself, the main stronghold of the city. Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits to get a good sense of everything around you.
There we go. I got a 9.
The further up you go, the further back this carnage seems to stretch. You see similar lumpy textures in the snow, buildings that are still kind of smoldering and pouring smoke out of them. One thing that catches your eye in particular is a very large, metallic, glinting figure that seems to be kind of like hunched over in the, like, just outside of the main gates of the college.
Is that
About
really
100 or
far
so yards
away?
It's about half a kilometer away, but you can make out its form glistening in the fires around it.
That doesn't look quite good.
She's gonna zip back down to let them know what she saw. Since she can move pretty quick.
Yeah, you zip back down, inform everybody. Ichabod Blackthorne.
What of my brother's manor on the other side? Did you see anything over there?
Nothing in particular caught your eye on that side.
Can't say I saw anything of import.
Well, that could be good. Or bad. Dependent. We should probably try to make our way over there first and foremost.
Salem, before you start to go, you can hear Gracie kind of chirping. Off,
Seems our girl
kind of
found something.
Off around a corner.
Seems our girl found something. And he'll jog over and try to meet up with Gracie.
Gracie's just kind of like circling an area where when she notices you, she kind of jumps up. She's by a corpse. She walks over and she looks at it. The corpse it has the impact wound of a lightning spell on the back of its head. And in front of it, there is a large burn mark as if it had thrown off a spell itself at something in front of it.
Is the body mostly intact?
For the most part, yeah. The burns on the back of its head left its skull a bit open. The insides of its head are scrambled and roasted, but since it's so cold, no bugs or anything have gotten into it.
Whew. God. Lee. Any fangs on this skull at all?
As you examine the skull, it appears to be that of just a normal human female. Probably just a member of the college here.
And how long would you say this body has been sitting around for?
That'll require a roll plus smarts.
Okay. Here I go.
Hey.
11.
By your best estimate, as you glance over it and examine the wound, how long it's been sitting here in this temperature, how pliable the body still is, though not much, you'd say it's been here for a couple of days, about the amount of time that you expected. But furthermore, on your investigation, what looked to be just a normal student, actually a member of the military. As you kind of dusted it off and looked over its uniform, it was not the traditional garb of the students of Iceforge, but something relatively similar to what a armored cadet might wear. Very similar to what Ichabod is wearing.
Well, ain't that just our luck?
From your best guess, as well from that, the damage that you've been seeing around town, the brute force damage, does not seem to match the surgical impacts of this blast. You're guessing whatever did this was another person, rather than whatever it was that's been causing all the big crater-like compressions around the city.
Well, ain't that strange. Pardon me, Monsieur Vampire. I do believe that one of your colleagues is giving us some quite a bit of information over here.
I take it you inform him of everything you learned.
Yeah, I'm calling him over.
Their formations do not normally leave them open to this type of sneak attack.
And it's different. It's different from all the other structural damage laying around here.
As you point out the blast mark, his vampiric paleness almost seems to get a little more pale.
If this attack came from behind, it almost seems to imply that she was betrayed by one of her own.
Well, that's certainly not ideal.
Not particularly, no.
To take this to believe by your reaction, that doesn't happen too often.
No. They are fiercely loyal to one another and to the Archmage. To make a betrayal like this would be to forfeit one's life and soul.
So that either means that whoever the betrayer was had a lot of faith in what they were doing and who they were doing it for, or they were mind controlled. Somehow, magically charmed, I would say.
That is the assumption. Come, this carnage does not leave me with much hope, but I must check on the whereabouts of my brother.
He kind of flutters his cape as he begins to make his way towards where you're assuming to be the manor, the Blackthorne Manor is.
Marge gets a little closer to Salem and Samar and goes,
It's not quite looking so good for us, gotta say.
Samar glances over. He's now got snow white hair. Yeah, kinda. But I don't know. Try to stay hidden. He's gonna duck down, and as he does, across his hands, across his neck, and on exposed skin, white, almost chitinous plates start growing as he's walking.
"Oh, that's fun." And she's gonna try and go invisible too.
Yeah, you see these chitinous scales start to form all over. Go ahead and give me a roll plus strange, Marge, as Samar starts to kind of bristle.
10.
And just like that, as you're focusing on your flesh there, Samar, Marge just pops out of reality like the Great Gazoo.
We're all just full of fun tricks, aren't we?
So it would seem. Samar's going to crouch down, and he's going to try to stay hidden using his skin tone, his hair, and the fact his scales are white to try to blend in with the snow as he's advancing.
And Nick, how aware is Marge of, like, living creatures? Can she, like, feel their presence at all, or would she, like, be aware of him?
You're basically as aware of them as they are of you. You can see them if they are visible. You can hear them. You don't have any necessary supernatural sense for them.
Got it. Okay.
Samar, using your shape-shifting ability, go ahead and give me a roll plus strange in an attempt to camouflage yourselves with your surroundings.
Okie doke. 9.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's not perfect camouflage, but it's odd to the rest of you as his skin begins to kind of bristle with this Arctic fox-like fur growing out of this thick, chitinous skin. He begins to blend a bit more with the snowy areas around him, making him kind of hard to detect by the naked eye if you weren't so close to him or weren't aware that he was there. As you guys begin to make your way through Iceforge, you make your way up to Blackthorne Manor. You see the door flung wide open as Ichabod has made it here well before you. No lights seem to be emanating from the inside of this large, kind of Victorian manor. It sits it sits there ominously. A shadow that seems to reach higher and higher into the sky as you approach it. You notice that anybody who wants can give me a roll plus wits to kind of get a glimpse around the area here.
9.
I rolled a 4.
Wow.
Snake eyes.
Here I go. 6.
So Marge, as opposed to the very prominent features of dead bodies littering the streets, there appear to be smaller mounds here. Like, significantly smaller. Almost kind of like fit in the palms of your hands, smaller mounds. Kind of littering the lawn and front walk.
What are these? What? If I had hands, I'd use them. But what are those?
And she gestures at them.
Ah, you can't see it. Look at the ground in the yard.
Yeah, you make your hand visible and just boink.
And point around.
With Marge pointing it out, it's pretty easy for you to see them. Salem. I have so many proper nouns to balance. Do you go to investigate?
Sure.
You approach and kind of dust one off. It appears to be a dead rat. Looks as though it was fleeing the manor.
Oh, that looks promising.
I don't know if the Blackthorns keep pet rats around or what. Are there any noticeable like burn marks, like a spell was cast on it or something, or did it just die?
Looks like it just kind of spontaneously died.
Some foul necromancy, perhaps.
From inside the manor, you hear an echo of a horrified
That doesn't sound good, does it?
I think our good friend Ichabod might have just got a promotion.
I think so. Let's go on.
Let's go and do damage control. Cover your neck, by the way, friend. Don't know what these bloodsuckers can do when they are in a tizzy.
She's looking at Samara going, he's not talking to me, right? Like, he does
No.
understand that.
I'm not. I know you're a ghost. I'm
All
talking
right, just,
to...
people forget.
Samar reaches up to his neck, and he just think against the chitinous plating on his neck.
Good. Also, weird, but I'm not gonna ask. That has gotten me into trouble more times than I can count. And he adjusts his bandana a little bit.
Your shadows seem to stretch out before you, almost as if being consumed by the manor itself as you walk into it. Well, those of you that have a shadow, anyway.
Rude.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so ableist. But you make your way inside, trying to find your way back to where you heard the scream emanate from. You find your way back to what appears to be the main dining hall, where you see Ichabod just kind of not necessarily curled up in the fetal position, but kind of down in a squatted position, like his clawed fingers scratching back, holding back his hair, his eyes wide, looking down and forward. Across from him, on the wall, a horrifying sight as you see a body, which is hard to recognize as a body at first, as it's hanging upside down, the legs bent, broken and flayed, the sinew and muscle pulled and stretched to form the crude shape of a tree, the arms similarly broken, flayed, sinews stretched and pinned to the wall, forming roots, the head removed, and in the place of its abdomen, cut open, the head stares out at you with a horrified expression.
Golly!
And here is where we will take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. If you're liking what you're watching, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps me feel the love for this series. And if you want to catch us live, feel free to hit us up on twitch.tv/Lanipator Mondays at 5 o'clock Central Time. Thanks for rolling with me. Now let's get back to the action.
Oh, right.
Yeah, spookiness is happening.
Yeah, a little bit.
The mangled body of Duke Blackthorne sits pinned to the wall in the grotesque shape of a hollowed out tree. Marge, you recognize this symbolism to be very heavily tied to that cult that you've been trying to track down for a very long time. They went quiet for a good majority of the last couple of years, but
I was, Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say this just kind of brings back a lot of memories for you.
I was, kind of hoping things are gonna be a little quiet today, honestly, but, this is
Golly.
bigger than I imagined. This is, tied to a cult I've been tracking down for some time. Think they're the ones that killed me.
I ain't never seen no one dressed up like that. And I seen a lot of things.
I think I'm gonna be sick. And Samir rushes out of the room.
Samir, the shadows seem to dance around you as you do so. Your own shadow, as it kind of catches the corner of your eye, almost looks like it's pointing and laughing at you.
He's going to take note of it, but he's still heading outside.
No doubt. All the way outside?
Yes.
All right, you book
Because
it.
I don't want to retch inside the house.
All right, you book it all the way out to the front yard. It feels infinitely colder outside as the icy, frigid air buffets your face as you make it out, and just as you kind of make it out onto the front walk, you kind of like slam down onto your hands and knees and try to hold in everything that you've eaten in the past day. It becomes... Go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
Okie doke.
Oh no. Roll to not retch.
I'm going to retch.
Oh no!
9!
Hey!
You manage to kind of like take some deep breaths and calm yourself down as you look out among the empty, smoking streets ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these people had you passed by in the streets before, said hello to, bought something from, done a favor for. It's the only thought that crosses your mind.
Stands up, leans against the wall, and he just stares out into the town for the moment, lost in his thoughts, but still keeping an eye out, always being ever watchful.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Okie doke. 7.
You continue your lookout, nothing immediately grabbing your eye, but you stay vigilant
Mm-hmm.
for any forms of movement. Back on the inside, Marge and
I don't care who you are. Ain't nobody deserve to see something like this.
Marge is studying everything very in depth since she is familiar with it.
Happen to their own kin. You have my deepest condolences.
He was the strongest of my brothers. What could have done this?
As you're investigating the area, Marge, go ahead. You can either give me a roll plus strange or a roll plus smarts.
Smart. Or, you know what? It doesn't matter either way because it's going to be the same.
Big spooky.
7.
Which were you choosing, though? Because that's going to determine what you find.
Oh, let's do strange first.
The ethereal energy that seems to permeate the scars and wounds left on Duke Blackthorne's body, they are similar to the ethereal signatures that you're familiar with of those stones that this cult seems to worship, but in another way they seem different. How different, you can't quite tell, but different.
Blackthorne?
He's just kind of trembling.
You may want to give him a moment. It's not every day the immortal are exposed to their own mortality.
She takes another look at it and studies everything over.
This would be a roll plus smarts if you wanted to investigate the
Yes, I do.
other side of this.
12.
The killing blow seemed to be the decapitation. You can tell because his face, the way it's contorted, seems to be a look of surprise. This was a very, very brief battle that took place. He was caught by surprise. He turned around. He may have gotten a shot or two in, but his head was summarily removed.
After everything else that had happened to him.
No, the other pieces, the broken limbs, the torn apart body, was probably happening as he was dying, but the head was the fatal blow. Like the decorum was set up after the fact and seemed to take a bit longer. You can tell from the, even though he's vampiric, there is still some blood flow to it. The sheer lack of it from some of these wounds. Furthermore, the head was taken off by some combination of brute force and magic. Almost as though an ethereal blade of sorts, teeming with, based on the scarring, some form of burning ether.
Hmm. Well, looks like this Blackthorne had a bad run-in with his sword, of some kind.
So,
Sword. Sorry.
no, I heard you.
It's there's a lot of ethereal magic, I suppose, coming out of everything. I've seen it before, but this is strong. Really strong. I've not seen this done to an immortal before. Happened quick.
Samar, as you stand looking out amongst the city, the shadows of the hedges seem to kind of twist and curl in, almost as if they are shadowy, clawed fingers trying to block your way in the path ahead of you. You see nothing, but you get this sense that you're being watched. And on the inside of your mind, you feel as if something is grinning. You just see a smile for a moment, and then it snaps away.
We're not alone here. He slowly he opens the door. I sure hope you guys are doing what you need to do in there, because I don't think we're alone here.
Gracie, keep an eye out for us, would you?
Gracie gives a excited little go ahead and roll plus smarts for Gracie's patrol.
Woo!
Oh.
4 or 5.
Hey!
Gracie hops out into the hallway. You just hear like the tingy clangs of her prancing little foot stamps as she starts marching around the hallways. Samar, as you turn back, I'm guessing you're going to go back to watching the streets.
The hedges, the streets, so on and so forth. I'm trying to keep an eye out in case something tries to slip up on us or tries to ambush us.
There's an immediately obvious thing as you turn around. Where you were once looking, about 10 feet ahead of you, in a about 10-foot radius, all of the snow has melted.
Do I have any idea of if there's like any kind of a transmutation or any kind of magic at play?
Go ahead and give me a roll plus strange.
Okie doke. 6.
As best as you can tell, there's the best answer you can come up with is yes, there is certainly something magical happening, but you have no fucking idea what the cause could be. So your best guess is, yeah, probably some type of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Would Marge know anything about what is potentially going to happen next, given that she has experience with this type of ritualistic killing?
This is usually the case of you find the body like this, and that's just kind of like them leaving the mark. But there is something that is kind of setting this apart for you. Go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts.
Okay. Oh, okay. 4.
You're a touch bewildered. Something about this rubs you very oddly. Maybe it's the fact that you're sitting in a vampire's lair. Maybe it's the fact that this is the most singularly powerful victim you've ever seen of this type of attack. But with all of those things running through your mind, it's hard for you to place exactly what it is about this that is so strange.
She's
Could
gonna.
I-
Go ahead.
Could I check to see if there is anything particularly important, like artifacts or documents or something like that, that have either looked like they've been stolen or just anything?
To find any important documents, you'll probably need the assistant of Ichabod, who is currently in shock.
Shit.
Otherwise, you'll be kind of like trouncing around this house, this very large Victorian manor, just looking for an area where documents might be kept.
Shit. Well, we're in his office at the current juncture, right?
No, you are in the dining hall.
Oh. Yes, you
Um,
did say that. Never mind.
Marge is gonna just like whip through a few rooms, through the walls and everything, and just like see, because an immediate thing would be to like search some of the house. So she's just gonna quickly go through anything and see if anything catches her eye.
Okay. I'm going to guess you're going to travel the 3 directions: up, behind, and to the right.
Yeah, she'll
So
like
the
kind
way
of
that wouldn't take you through the window, basically.
yes.
Behind the body, the room behind where the body is pinned, appears to be a larder/kitchen. In here, you find the flayed bodies of his servants. I say flayed, but deboned would probably be the proper phrase. Just kind of crumpled on the ground, as if the bones were each ripped from their flesh.
Well, that's not a good sight.
Above
Go
above
ahead.
that room, you find. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the layout of this manor. You find a small library/sitting room. Doesn't seem to be particularly disturbed. But you can give me a roll plus wits if you want to try to decipher anything from it.
Yes, I do. I'm always going to be on the lookout for other ghosts as well. Oh, my goodness.
Roll 20. Why?
5.
Nothing in here particularly catches your eye as you travel back down and across the hallway into the adjacent room. This appears to be a ballroom, like a small gathering room for, well, a large gathering room, all things considered, but not like a grand ballroom. Nothing in here seems out of place, but feel free to roll plus wits again to prove me wrong.
Please. 9.
You have an uneasy feeling in this room. You almost feel yourself start to sway as you can kind of hear this gentle piano music beginning to play. The shadows begin to kind of twirl around you. You almost feel as though your hand is pulled to try to, like, twirl you. A feeling you haven't had since, well, you were alive.
Gonna yank her hand back really quickly.
You get a similar feeling that Samar had moments ago, that something grinned. Just for a moment. And you feel what can only be described as a flash of heat emanate through your ethereal body.
In the north. As a ghost.
Yes.
Oh, alright. She's gonna keep whizzing through, perhaps a little bit faster now.
All right, back to Salem.
I'm gonna kneel down I'm gonna hook my arm around Ichabod's neck and turn him away from the scene. Now listen. Hey, I'll shake him.
All right, you kind of like jostle him.
Now I know that this has all been quite a lot for you. But it's gonna get a whole lot worse if we don't figure out who did it, why, and what they were after. We can try to see where they pop up next, so no one else has to go through this. You hear me?
Go ahead and give him a roll plus charm.
Here I go!
Oh. Oh.
He still looks incredibly shocked and shooken. I mean, you kind of got his eye contact, but he's still like trying to place everything around him. This man looks as though he is out of his depth. You see him, you see this sense of grief, you see this panic across his face.
Boy. Alright. I'm just gonna keep him facing away from the body. I'm gonna see... Is the completely desiccated corpse of Duke Blackthorne wearing anything?
He seems to be wearing a blood red robe. Seems very like kind of casual silken attire. Definitely was not dressed for battle or even for going out.
Nothing stately. No, like I wouldn't find pockets with anything on them, right?
You could attempt to search through his pockets.
I will do
like
that.
His robe has pockets.
Yeah, I'll go through his pockets and see what I can find there.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus smarts as you're investigating
go again.
his body.
Here I go again. 9.
He doesn't appear to have much on his person, but you find a kind of charcoal-like substance kind of sprinkled throughout. As you kind of like take it out and sniff it, it smells sulfurous.
Ugh. Can I dab a little bit on my finger and hook it under my mask and take a little lick of it? See if I get any indicators from that. I won't swallow it. I'm just gonna.
Sure. Go ahead and give me another roll plus smarts.
This is smart. 12.
Yeah.
This right here, that's brimstone.
He's like licking his palm just to get the taste off. Well, I'm gonna be smelling eggs for weeks. Brimstone. Would I know if brimstone is a particular component for a spell or the residue, or if it has any magical properties like blocking spells or something like that?
I'm pretty sure strange and smarts are both the same for you, so go ahead and give me a roll plus either.
I will go with I'll go with smarts again. That's been working pretty well for me so far. I say as I jinx myself with a 6.
Mhm.
You're sure that in a town like this that studies magic profusely, you'd probably be able to find a number of either alchemical purposes or spell component purposes for it. But as your particular study of magic leans more towards the ability to command your pets and just kind of the more combat focused and item focused sense, moreover than anything else, it's hard for you to determine specifically exactly what this might do in an arcane sense. But you know, whatever it is probably not for good magic.
All right. I done had enough of this. I'm going to whip out my war pike or my war pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to not use the pick end. I'm going to try and I'm going to smack Ichabod Blackthorne across the face to snap him out of this.
Oh.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
Roll
no.
plus body plus 1.
Oh.
7.
Okay.
I
You
just
slap him across the face with that.
Hey!
He takes half of the damage that normally be tooked. So rounded up, so 2, I believe.
half rounded up. Yes.
Yeah, you kind of smack. He kind of
Wake
glares at you.
up. You are not going to avenge your brother sitting there.
He spits out a tooth. Not one of his fangs, just a regular ass tooth.
Sorry.
No. I needed that. I should leave this room.
You do that. I think we found all we can in here anyway.
Yeah.
I'll... So the corpse is all dolled up to look like a tree, basically.
Yeah, it looks like a gross approximation of a tree with 2 gnarled branches and several sinew bits coming from his flayed legs to look like more branches.
Oh god. Okay, yeah. I'll close the door behind us. What
Marge,
I'm
as
getting?
oh, sorry.
Oh, what I'm getting from everything I found in there is maybe the perpetrator was familiar with the victims. Who would be on good terms with both the military and Duke Blackthorne?
It is hard to say. There are a number in rank that might fit such a description, but none that have the power to do that.
The wounds, Marge said, were magical. I don't know if you know anybody magically inclined that may or may not be happy with the position.
We are close to the college of Iceforge, perhaps. No student could be that powerful. And the headmaster, he passed some time ago.
The headmaster. Wouldn't there be another one if they passed?
Perhaps. Maybe there's information there.
That's probably our next stop then. I'll round up the troops.
Marge, you do eventually find yourself in what appears to be a personal study of sorts. Big, dark wooden desk. Documents kind of scattered around, scrolls. Sealed with the mark of the house. Hello?
Oh yes, sorry. She looks at all the notes on the desk and tries her best to scan over the books and see if anything is amiss.
All right, checking to see if anything is amiss would be a roll plus wits, I believe.
Okay. 11.
The thing that catches your eye the most is there's a gap in the bookshelf that looks like it fits a book that is no longer there. It's near several other books that seem to appear to be like books of biology of various creatures.
Okay.
This one seems to be the furthest along in the line.
Cross section between magic, biology, something to do with death. All right then. And she'll head back to the group.
You float back down into the main area. By the way, Salem, as you come around the corner, Gracie is carrying around a dead rat. Seems to be very proud of itself that it found that.
But you got yourself a new toy. Put that down.
Sets it down as commanded.
You're gonna get your cogs all dirty. Damn it, girl. Did you find anything else?
Kind of cocks its head and flicks its ear a couple of times. Doesn't seem to have. Marge, you float down to see this.
I see you're hard at work.
Yeah, I have been. Our benefactor seems to have snapped out of the funk that he was in. We're planning on going to the College of Iceforge. Figure out some stuff there. It's clear that the magically adept perpetrator of these crimes may have come from there.
Well, we do have a bit of a problem. Something's kind of here with us now. And, looks like someone deboned the kitchen staff as if they were chickens.
Oh. Well,
They're sitting in the larder with no bones.
that's good.
Lady Death take them.
Oh, she did. For sure. Also, in his study, there's a book missing.
A book missing.
Yeah, it's surrounded by books about biology and creatures and whatnot. It was the furthest one at the end. It's gone. Any idea about that?
I'll have to look into that personally.
Oh, no time
He
for
was
that.
fascinated by something a passerby said. Something about new creatures popping up. Wanted scholars to look into it.
Skulls.
Yes, he claimed to find a enchanting woman in Coldreach. One that was bestial but intelligent, capable of corrupting the minds of men. And
So,
then there are the
a woman.
monstrosities that the Archmage reported. The ones that tear about the maw itself.
My concern about all this is a bit higher than before. Should we be concerned about the thing that's here?
Thing?
The thing. There's a I took a stroll past the ballroom and something touched me. Something tried to grab my hand. I haven't had a hand grab in a few years at this point, being dead and all that. And sort of a hot flash, which I don't get in the north as a ghost. So also something in my mind, it grinned at me, like it could see me, but I couldn't see it.
I'm gonna take it that's not normal, he says, looking at Ichabod.
Not normal for the house, no. We should move onward. Perhaps we can find more answers at the college.
Right. I'll go get our friend.
If you all leave, Samar has been kind of standing outside. In front of him, about 10 feet ahead, in a 10-foot radius, is a large melted patch of ice, or a melted patch of the snow and ice.
Could I have, since I've been kind of idle, could I have taken some time to investigate that, by the way?
Absolutely. Roll plus strange to investigate the area there.
All right. 9.
Ooh.
The area itself wasn't cleared by any typical magic. This was by an aura. Something emanated this heat.
Mm-hmm.
Something was standing behind you for a moment, and then either took off or disappeared when you turned around.
Any kind of tracks in the snow, or is that the tracks at the melted area?
You see two, you're hesitant to say footprints. They look almost kind of like stretched out bird talons about the size of a human foot.
Mm-hmm.
That are impacted in the mud. But the claws in front appear to be almost insect-like in nature.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit strange, but given the extra patches of snow around, is there any way that I can take a look at the footprint and try to mimic it?
You as everybody walks out, they see you having taken off your shoe. Your foot is currently stretching and contorting to try to fit into the shape of this mark in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You kind of have it stretched out in this very long, weird, fleshy pattern. This sort of Y-like shape.
Mm-hmm.
As
Hey,
everybody
say,
steps
Ma.
outside.
Say, Ma, we're gonna go ahead to...
No. No, that's not the right pattern.
The fuck is that?
This is something new. Huh? Oh.
What are
As
you doing?
soon as he looks back, his foot reverts back to normal. I found these weird footprints in the snow.
I could have gone my whole life not seeing that.
Did you make them?
No? Trying to remake them, but I didn't make them. Whatever's been watching us here has.
What's all this? What's this melty bit?
Sam looks at Marge. This has been a weird day.
As far as I can tell, something was watching me. And that there melty patch was an aura or something, some kind of magic aura. Couldn't see it, couldn't smell it, couldn't hear it, but I saw it in my head. And it was smiling at me.
Same thing as me then. And if it can produce heat, it must have been the same thing. I felt it as a ghost. It gives me a little cause of alarm. Kind of
but
used to not caring about things that might hurt me.
I'm suspecting it left these here footprints. Weird looking. Almost look like a bird, but almost like a bug at the same time.
Would any of us have any idea what that is?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say no.
All right.
You got me.
Well, shall we hurry on to the college then? I feel as though we've got a pleasant surprise waiting for us.
We'll keep an eye out for more of those tracks.
Also, Ma, there, inside, aside from that beautiful display, the kitchen staff has been deboned like chickens, sitting in the larder. Things might go south. In the north.
Yeah, that sounds like necromancy. Sounds like
I would
somebody
know.
was summoning up a skeleton.
What's that? Summon a skeleton?
Yeah. You've never seen it happen? Take a body, revive it, skeleton just pops out of the body.
In the north, it's pretty common.
That's fun.
All that's left is just the fleshy bits. No bones, just meat.
We should get moving.
Off we go.
You guys start
Right.
to make your way towards the College of Iceforge. The city streets seem to almost hum with a strange energy as you walk through the town center up towards the college.
No ghosts?
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Come on, baby. Come on. Big rolls for Mama. 9. Oh, wait. 8. But still good.
No ghosts, but
Dang it.
you do see movement. The snow around you begins to shift. You hear a crunch.
Hold up, fellas.
As you turn, there's a new divot in the snow where once there was a lump.
Oh, we got a problem, fellas.
You start hearing the crunches around you more and more. Crunch, 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 crunch.
I'm
Hello?
going to try to get to a spot where I cannot be seen.
Go
And
ahead
I'm
give
already-
me a roll plus body to try to hide.
I would like to
Plus-
point out that I am currently camouflaged.
I'm still invisible as well.
4?
Oh.
As you try to duck around a corner into a shadowy alleyway, Gracie lets out a yip as the skeletal, somewhat meated hand of a zombie reaches out to strike you.
Gracie, you got me in trouble! Acquaintances, we appear to have a bit of a problem.
As you glance around the area, the bodies littering the streets begin to shift. Go ahead, everybody go ahead and give me a roll plus strange.
9.
6.
9, 6.
10.
Marge and Salem, you hear
Consume.
As the zombies, about a dozen of them, begin charging out of the alleyways towards you, baring their teeth and gnashing.
Marge gets this quizzical look on her face and just asks at the direction of wherever they heard it.
Do you mind? We're kind of in the middle of something.
No reply.
Well, I'm looking for something to...
You are currently face to face with a zombie. It is about to attack you. And as the combat in this game is purely reactive, you go ahead and make your call on what you wish to do in front of this thing.
Gracie has a separate turn from me, correct?
Yes, Gracie is treated as a second player character controlled by you.
Sweet. In that case, quick question: when can I use the Robe of Stars?
Anytime. It's just an action during combat.
Just an action? It'll take my action?
Yes.
Okay. First things first, I'm going to use my war pick to get in there and try and smack this guy right in the center of his head. Try to...
All right, go ahead and give me a roll
hit him
plus
in the
body
brain.
to attack this Zambo that's trying to attack you.
Zambo. 7.
7. As it lunges forward and bites into your shoulder, you take 3 points of damage mitigated by the 2 shield that you have, so 1 point of damage. As you clobber it in the face for the full 4 points, you dig that pick straight into its shoulder, kind of cleaving off a good chunk of the arm meat that's remaining on it. And prying it off of your body as it rips some of the flesh off of the side of your arm.
Okay.
Is there
You
anything
used.
special about the zombies?
If you'd like to use your turn to study them, you may. That would be a roll plus smarts or a roll plus strange.
Let's do... Well, yes. Oh, okay. It'd be a 9 for strange.
The energy they appear to be giving off is not traditional necromancy energy. It appears to be some sort of corrupted force in nature. There's emotion oozing out of it, a sort of panic and dread and regret. These things are fueled by negative emotions of those that were slain. Furthermore, they do appear to be empowered.
Oh, well, it's just your lucky day, lads. These aren't normal ones, actually. They're, kind of empowered and, not normal dead types, you know?
Blackthorne behind you is using his clawed hands to attempt to rend the head off of one. He seems to have taken the attention of a few of them. Which leaves Gracie and Samar.
Mm-hmm. So, Samar, I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to see how the dice roll. Samar brings his hands together. He claps before he thrusts his palms down. As he does, there's a small crackle of electricity. As I attempt to transmute the ground to cause a very narrow stone spike to pierce the closest zombie.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll plus strange as you attempt to cause the ground beneath you to become a spear.
10.
Oh.
As the zombie is charging at you, you fully impale it, doing 2 damage, which is your strange stat.
Correct.
Stopping it in its tracks as it continues to kind of pull forward along that spike, trying to reach you.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves Gracie.
I'm just gonna whistle through my teeth.
Gracie leaps into action.
Yep, and she's going to...
attacking the same one that you're going after, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Go ahead and
I'm
give
rolling
me
on
a
smarts, I
roll,
believe.
Yep, roll plus smarts for Gracie's attack. And then you'll have to tell me how you built Gracie.
I did send you a message. That's going to be a 10.
All right. I guess I'll pull that up real quick. Yeah, you pick 4 of those options in order to further build Gracie.
Definitely. Okay, so she has +1 damage, insulated, +1 shield, and stun.
Okay, so she has a kind of an electric component to her bites, which means that she does 2 damage as she leaps up and bites the same zombie that you had previously attacked, kind of taking it down to the ground as it continues to try to crawl. Zombies don't exactly fall unconscious due to their undead nature, but this one is currently unable to move at its full function as its leg has been rended off by your mechanical fox.
So it's effectively out of the fight now, or
if you run away from it, it would take it a while to get into any sort of effective range. Effectively, it is out of the fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if you stay where you are, it will continue to attack you, and it will just blindly continue to until it is eviscerated.
Definitely. All right.
Marge from on high. Should we be running towards Iceforge College then? I mean, it seems like we're headed the right way if all these little baddies are coming alive.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to fight all of these walkers.
And
Blackthorne has beheaded 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
So there are currently 9 of them still with effective combat ability.
Oh. Marge is gonna pop up really to get more bird's eye view and see if that creature is nearby.
The metal one?
The whatever the tracks left.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus wits.
Oh, 7.
Does not appear to be, but you can see that your path toward the college goes through about 7 of the zombies, one of which is currently run through by Samar's stone spike.
Not exactly the best. All right.
Next up, we have either Samar or... all these S names. Samar Salem or Gracie again.
Okay, so the only path to the College of Iceforge is being blocked by a bunch of zombies with one with a spike through them.
Yeah, the path ahead, there are 7 zombies. A couple of them are encroaching from the sides. And then there's, of course, the one on the ground that you have.
I'm going to make my way away from the one on the ground.
It continues trying to drag itself forward to get back to you, but you have no problem outpacing it.
I am going to... Oh, boy. All right. So I'm going to try and is there like a barrel or like some debris around that I could like throw up real quick to create sort of like a barricade?
This would be a roll plus wits to try to do something like that, if that is something
All
you
right.
want to do.
That is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to barricade that alley that all the zombies are coming towards to at least try to slow them down. That roll is going to be a 7.
You throw down some clutter in front of it. It is going to completely stop the zombie that is on the ground. Like the one zombie that's behind it is going to eventually be able to kind of like climb over the meager amount of clutter and rubble you were able to kind of push in its path, though. It will delay it for a moment as the other zombies continue to encroach in on you.
I'm going to move up, and I am going to attempt to assist with Salem's barricade by strengthening it with stone from the ground.
All right. As you do so, zombies are going to attempt to attack you.
All right.
So go ahead and give me a roll plus strange to try to barricade the two of you.
That is a 4.
All right. You take 3 points of damage, mitigated by however much shield you have.
I have 3 shield.
All right. So essentially, as it tries to bite into your... Wait, how do you have... Oh, that's right. You took combat expertise as well.
I have 1 for my armor,
Combat
1
reflexes.
for combat reflexes, and I have 1 due to my carapace.
What's your strange score? Because you can only have a shield up to your strange score.
2.
So you have a maximum of 2 shield.
Ah, okay. Then I will lose an armor.
Yeah. Zombie kind of claws at you and rips back some of your armor.
Okay. And I assume my my attempt to fortify failed.
Yup. Nothing doing. The zombies are getting through pretty easily. Gracie.
So the one impaled on the spike is still alive and it's hurting Samar, right?
No, this was a completely different zombie that had been wandering at you from the college. You're now encroached upon by, all 7 of these zombies are now in a group around you.
Okay. Where does it look like the thinnest? Like
behind you, where Blackthorne is currently has currently just finished eviscerating the second zombie and is now turning towards you guys.
Okay, I'm going to. So they're sort of encircling us right now.
Yeah, they're encroaching on you.
In that case, Gracie is going to. I'm gonna whistle, and she's going to attack the closest one next to Blackthorne, just to give us a gap where we could possibly try to run out and get some better cover.
The next closest one are all next to you guys. Like, you guys are the ones that need defending right now. The 2 that were backed by Blackthorne are both dead.
I'll just defend myself then. Gracie's going to attack the closest one to Salem.
All right, go ahead. Roll plus smarts. Go, Gracie.
Roll plus smarts. Gracie, go! Oh. Why is that only 1? I'll fucking do it again. 19, 11.
All right, Gracie deals 4 damage, or 2 damage to the closest zombo, stunning it with her shocking fangs as it stumbles backwards, kind of like juddering as if tased, and kind of collapses to the ground a little. Back up the rotation. Anybody can go again.
Marge is gonna like look around for the creature again, and then also zip into like the college and see what's going on in there.
You are still a very far away, like you're still pretty far away from the college, and while you can completely abandon everybody, I mean, you're a ghost, it's going to be hard for these zombies to stop you.
Yeah.
You'd be effectively leaving combat at that point.
Oh, okay. Dang it. All right. Okay. She is gonna try and find the creature and anything.
I'll say this. If you're trying to look for the creature, that is going to be your entire action while everybody else is getting eaten.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But I can't really interact with the zombies, correct?
You, look at all of your perks. You have a few things that can interact with them.
Oh! I'm gonna try and possess one.
There you go. Go
Forgot
ahead and give me a
about
roll
that.
plus strange.
Roll with me, don't you dare. Don't you dare mess this up for me.
Come on, roll 20.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
As one of the zombies is about to lean in and bite you square on the neck, Samir, its eyes glow crystalline blue. And effectively right now, your body stat is now considered a 2, Marge.
Okay.
And you now have control of this zombie's body with all 10 of its hit points. If it is rendered unconscious, or I mean, if it's rendered dead, basically your meat shield is spent. And you're back to being a ghost.
And she's gonna poke Samir in the head and go, "Don't think I'll be doing that after all, eh?"
Your rotting tongue kind of rolls out of the mouth.
Sorry about that.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's really weird, but it's useful.
There are now 7 zombies that are any combat efficacy against you.
I thought there were 7 before. With the possessed one, there's 1 less, right?
Well, there were 2 that was killed by Blackthorne, 7 that were encroaching on you, the 1 that you wounded, and then the 1 behind that one that is currently trying to make its way over your barricade. And then there's so their numbers are dwindling as Blackthorne starts to make his way towards these other zombies.
All right. Well, the one that's stunned on the ground isn't dead, correct?
Yeah, it's just unable to get to you.
All right.
I mean, technically, it's dead. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It is still actively trying to pursue you, but is unable to get past the rubble.
Okay. I'm gonna go in for a coup de grace then. I'm gonna try to smack it with my war pick.
All right.
Smack.
Roll plus body.
Oh,
9.
yo.
9. You are able to effectively crush that zombie's head, but the zombie behind it is able to get a scratch off on you. You take another damage as it's crawling over that wall.
As it's crawling over the wall, Samir's going to go in, and I'm going to try to halfway transmute its head. I'm going to try to deconstruct it, but not reconstruct it.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll plus strange as you reach out and grab this thing's head.
6.
Bites you right on the hand, dealing another damage to your... bites you right on the wrist, dealing another damage to your armor. Unfortunately,
right.
You were unable to reach it in an effective manner.
Ah, bitch!
That leaves Gracie.
Gracie's going to attack the one while Samar is grabbing it by the head. Gracie's going to go for its ankles.
All right. Gracie leaps over the rubble. Go ahead and roll plus smarts for Gracie's attack.
No! 4!
Oh my god.
As Gracie tries to leap over the rubble, the zombie catches it in midair and throws Gracie at the wall. Gracie takes 3 points of damage mitigated by her shield.
So 2. Gracie.
All right, back up the rotation.
Marge is gonna use her brand new body to go and destroy some zombies.
All right, the remaining 6 zombies next to you are all grouped up and about ready to rip into your friends, your newfound friends.
She's gonna, let's see. I'm assuming their bodies are pretty pliable at this point, so
Mushy.
they're mushy. So she's just gonna try and hook as many necks as she can and like try and chokehold them off.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll plus body.
8.
You're able to start like pushing a few of them back, kind of giving your party some breathing room. But the zombies that you're pushing back each start kind of ripping and tearing into your zombie flesh. You take 6 points of ripping and tear as they rip and tear at the flesh all over you.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, they're grouped up now, so they kind of deal their damage in tandem.
You know, you're just doing me a favor. I'm just gonna take another one in a second.
All right. Salem, Samar, and Gracie.
The one that bit me, is it still there or did it get pulled away?
The one that bit you is the one that's on the other side of the rubble that's climbing over. It's in your face effectively.
Cool. I'm gonna just keep on pushing my hand forward, and I'm gonna try to get that. I'm gonna get that touch.
All right, try it again. Roll plus strange.
Please. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, that was a D20.
Wait, nope, that was a D20.
No.
I lost the game. All right,
6.
D8. I got an 8 now.
All right.
How
Once
did I
again,
get
you
it? Yeah.
take an additional damage, but this time you're able to kind of blow up half of its face. It doesn't seem to change its combat efficacy though, as the undead skull continues to try to like push towards you, even if it's only half a face right now.
Yep, it takes 2 piercing damage.
Yep, that would only be effective if it had armor,
Yep.
which these do not. Salem and Gracie.
Salem's gonna try to finish off the one who just got smanged by Samar.
Go for it.
War pick. Yeah. 9.
You are able to thoroughly, bam, crack that war pick into its chest, kind of severing its spine and crumpling it to the ground. Its body is still moving, but it's unable to get over that rubble now. You do, however, take an additional 3 points of damage from the zombies around you.
Oh. Is that after mitigation?
Everything I'm going to say is before mitigation.
Okay.
Blackthorne has now made his way up to the party, notices a couple of the zombies kind of tearing at one of them. Kind of cocks his eye as his vampire bladed fingernails slice into the flesh of another one of the zombies.
Marge yells over to him, "Little help, if you don't mind."
He has effectively taken away another zombie, leaving you with just the remaining 4, I believe.
Marge is gonna try and just like, after knowing that the spine is what keeps the body going, she's gonna try and like see if she can pull one out of one of them.
All right, go ahead and roll plus body.
8.
You deal 3 damage to one of the zombies as they deal another 6 to you, basically eviscerating that body.
She's gonna float up out of it.
Well, damn it.
But it goes down, kind of ripping some flesh, some of the meaty flesh out of one of the other zombies.
And she's gonna
Still 4 zombies remaining.
she's gonna float up above it with her arms all crossed.
Gracie's going to tag team with zombie Marge, and she's going to try to bite some ankles.
Go for it.
Gracie! Oh! That is 9.
Gracie jumps in, bites the ankle, but is once again kind of flung away, taking another 3 points of damage. She does her 2 damage. The zombie, as it's flung away, the femur below the kneecap stays in Gracie's mouth as Gracie goes flying and takes that damage. As the zombie kind of falls to the ground, it's still attempting to move, but it has 1 leg. So I suppose that leaves. I think is that backup rotation or Samar? Samar.
Okay, I'm going to grab my dagger, and I use my transmutation ability to turn it into a buckler shield.
All right, you now have.
I doubt it's going to give me.
Yeah, it gives you 5 additional armor.
Cool.
Ooh.
I don't suppose it can be used as a weapon. It's just defensive, right?
I mean, you can try and bash something with it, but it does 1 less damage than the dagger would.
Ah, okay. I got you. That is my turn for now.
All right. You'd be doing so while rolling defensively, so give me a roll plus wits to try not to get attacked by the remaining zombies.
Absolutely. 9.
All right, so you only take 3 damage instead of 6.
Oh boy. And that's before mitigation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, backup rotation. Whoever wants to go.
Marge is gonna try and take over another body. Whatever one looks the most able-bodied.
The fittest. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead and roll plus strange to possess another Zambo.
9.
You feel some resistance as you do. You're not sure you're going to be able to hold it for very long, but you have control of a zombie again.
Won't be here long, lads. Let's move quick, eh?
All right. Samar, Gracie, or Salem.
Does it look like the crowd is thin enough where you can make a break for it without too much trouble?
Probably at this point. There aren't many remaining, and you are faster than these zombies.
Let's get a move on to the college. We don't need to be here any longer than we need to.
Agreed.
And Gracie's going to attempt to stun one.
Unfortunately, stunning damage on these things hasn't been doing much, as they don't have an active nervous system, as you've noticed.
Ah, I see.
her attacks.
In that case, Gracie will just be watching my back to make sure I don't get hit by a zombie. It'll
So
essentially try.
She'll attack defensively.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me a roll plus wits to attempt to escape this scenario.
Rolling plus wits is 5.
And no dice as you try to flee through the zombies. They kind of glom onto you. The remaining zombies deal 6 damage.
Ah, they glommed me.
Kind of like piling on you and like grabbing at you, ripping and tearing at your exposed flesh. How much health are you at currently?
4.
You are currently blacking out.
Oh,
Ugh. I could use a little help. Gracie, please.
oh,
Gracie leaps up to your defense. Go ahead and roll plus smarts to get some of these Zambos off of you.
That's just 7.
Gracie leaps up and bites the one that looks more damaged. Of the two, it doesn't look like either of them are particularly damaged. Deals 2 damage to it, and takes 3 in return.
Yipe.
And these zombies are climbing over the wall at the moment, right?
No, the zombies behind the wall cannot get over it.
Okay.
These ones are the ones between you and the college. Or the road leading to the college.
Okay. Is there... Okay.
There are 2 effective zombies remaining.
And are they bunched up?
They are both next to each other, attempting to attack the same target, whatever happens to attack them.
Okay.
Or more so, like they're just kind of going... They're going ham on Salem right now.
I gotta save Salem. I'm going to try to use my transmutation ability to put a wall between them and Salem.
They are on him right now,
Okay.
so that's going to be very difficult. You might be able to separate them, but...
Yeah, it's gonna be... Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pierce them both with a spike, would I?
I never said that.
Alright, then...
You can
Since
do
they're-
whatever you want with that transmutation ability. It doesn't have to just be an attack. You can, like, do anything. You can create a pit. You can create whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Alright, I got it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to, just in front of Salem, I'm going to try to basically quicksand the zombies so that Salem can pull away, but they cannot follow.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll plus strange to see how well this goes.
Roll 20 hates me today.
With a 5, everybody's in quicksand. Salem, as you're blacking out, you begin to feel yourself sinking into the ground with these hands of these zombies kind of clawing at you as you do. You feel like you're being pulled into the earth.
Oh, shit. What the...
Marge.
Marge, how close is she to him?
You were one of the 3 zombies that were remaining there. So you were right next to them. You're just not piling onto him like the other 2 are.
She's going to stand on one of the zombies that's sinking and pull Salem out
Okay.
to try and sink the zombie faster so that it doesn't have any physical ability. That's
Go
a body
ahead.
roll, right?
It will be, yes.
10.
As you step over using one of the zombies' bodies as a kind of platform, you reach in, and Salem, you can feel another zombified hand kind of like clench around your bottom jaw and begin to lift your head out of the sand.
She also says,
Try not to panic, Glove. It's just me.
You're in kind of a fugue-like state as you're waning in and out of consciousness as this zombie with a very chipper accent pulls you from the sand.
Huh?
And the other zombies can't seem to reach you as this zombie kind of like plops you onto the more solid ground. The other zombies are trying to react as they are getting pulled further and further into this sand. But they don't seem to know how to navigate it, especially with you standing on top of them as you also begin to sink. Combat has effectively ended.
Mama, that you?
If your mama looks like this, I have some concerns for you.
I don't want to be here anymore, Mama.
Ugh.
I want to
could
go
say
home.
the same.
And you know what?
And-
As much as I thought this was going to be a one-shot, looks like next week we're going to be doing a part 2 of this encounter. Because we have hit our endpoint. Until next time.